people in dormitory towns. One of the commuters I spoke to does a round trip of 104 kilometres a day. So these are the reasons why people may feel they have to or would rather drive. So let's start with Paul. He is a father of one, originally from Dublin, now living in Naas, County Kildare. That means doing battle with city traffic as well as the dreaded N7. He's not just a motorist though. Part of his commute is by bike. I met him in Rathgar. He had cycled there from the city centre where we picked up his car for the journey home.
It looks the fastest way to go is left back there towards Rathgar, but it's a bottleneck at Highfield Road, so that's the first junction we're avoiding.
So we have set off at 16:48 from Rathgar. You have already cycled from town, from work?
Correct. Dublin to Harcourt Road is where I work, so it's only a 7-minute cycle back to my mother's place. Then I deposit my bike, leave it locked up, and walk the short distance to my car, where it's parked at a free parking area. What's stressful about it is I always feel getting in to work late always worries me. There's an anxiety there when you're being delayed.
And you have a toddler, so do you have a creche run in the morning as well?
Yeah, that's all part of it. You know, tomorrow, for instance, he'll be collected from creche by 6:30. So now I have to be on the road by 5 or 5:30 at the very latest. Otherwise, creche will start automatically charging penalties.
So getting caught in traffic could actually hit you in the pocket quite directly.
Definitely. So what happened on this particular occasion, I was driving home, everything was fine. I approached Rathcoole around exit 4 off the N7, but as soon as I went around that corner, I was facing tailback, and I would have probably took me about an hour and 15 minutes to get home from there, and normally it would take me 15 minutes. And I did try to escape the traffic rather than stay on the N7. I left at an earlier junction than normal, and of course everybody else had the same idea. So it's carnage. People would literally break every rule they possibly can. They're all driving up the hard shoulder. That was all down to a single collision. It did happen to be a particularly bad one on this occasion. As far as other potential solutions, I think flexibility in the workplace, certainly in my own office, got people starting shifts at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a lot of that is to facilitate commuters. I was granted an 8 to 4 shift, which is outside the core hours of 9 to 5, because I live so far outside the city. And the company didn't have to do that. I know there are plenty of companies that would insist on their staff working 9 to 5.
So stroke of a pen, the government can change something tomorrow that would make your life easier. What would it be?
Start building an underground. Dublin City it's gridlock. You've got far too many people driving their kids to school. There's not enough, whether you need school buses or whatever it happens to be. It's getting worse and worse. For commuting in general, the only thing I can think of is to improve the rail system to make it more accessible to greater populations.
Now that's very interesting, because on one level he has it sussed. He drives from Naas to Rathgar, free on-street parking. How long that'll last is another question. Then walks to his mother's house, picks up his bike, cycles to work, then the same in reverse in the afternoon, and home in time for the creche.
Yeah, so that car leg of the journey is 35 kilometres. Yesterday it took 1 hour and 11 minutes, which should take 42 minutes. It doesn't sound too bad, but Paul knew every back street, alleyway, every rat run. I think we went round an alleyway behind a Tesco Metro at one point. He had a taxi driver's knowledge of the city, so it might take someone else longer. And it's interesting to note that the N7, the latest figures they have for traffic volumes there are only 2015, but the annual average traffic volume was peaking at just under 97,000 vehicles at rush hour.
Yeah, and the big issue at the moment with the N7, and the reason for the tailbacks, is that they're adding an extra lane beyond Naas. It's going to take another 2 years to finish that.
I mean, it actually blows my mind thinking about 2 years more of that traffic.
Anyway, your next journey was with whom?
So my next commuter diary involved